Hello once again, everybody. Scott X1307 here. No haul this week, unfortunately. I get paid every 2 weeks at my part-time job, and that's pretty much all I'm running on right now. So yeah, it'll be this coming weekend. But, in lieu of a haul, I thought I'd try something different here. I'm going through a few boxes of my older comics and things I've had for a while, and came across something that came out back in the 90s. This is the year where Ray Bradbury comics, put out by Topps, which most people know from their sports cards. And in the 90s, they came out with a comic book line. They had Zorro. That was where Lady Rawhide first appeared, and she had her own series. They did an adaptation of the Bram Stoker's Dracula movie that was out at the time. It was done by Mike Mignola. It was pretty good. They did several other things, and they ran for a little while. But one of the things they came out with were the Ray Bradbury comics, and they were adaptations of Ray Bradbury short stories, things like that. Some were actually, there are reprints of original EC comic adaptations from the 50s, and they had a lot of neat artists. Like this one has Richard Corbin in the first issue here, and these are actually, my mom picked these up, and this came out in '93, so what was it, 21 years ago now. So yeah, my mom picked these up and she read them, and I read them. I always liked Ray Bradbury's short stories and things. And here you can see Richard Corbin's adaptation of A Sound of Thunder. I'm sure most people are familiar with this story. It's in the future, and time travel is kind of like a rich man's holiday, and people pay to go back in time and hunt extinct animals. They pick animals that are going to die anyway. I guess, they view the past and they find an animal that's about to die from natural causes, and they take the hunters in to kill them. And something goes wrong. The guy falls off the track. Lands on a butterfly, and that changes the whole future and everything. It's pretty cool. Great Richard Corbin art there, as you can see. And really like these panels here, the color and everything. It's real trippy. There's another story here called Tyrannosaurus Rex. It's about a guy working in movies. And then the EC Comics adaptation of the Sound of Thunder also, which is actually pretty good as well. Really nice art in this. And that was originally by Al Williamson. So these all had really good stories, and you can see pretty good art. Second issue here, that's nice. Now my issue copy here is not in the best shape, but still it's nice. It's a Dan Buretton cover. And this one has stories, It Burns Me Up, Touched by Fire, and The Black Ferris. Yeah, this first one is Harvey Kurtzman and Matt Wagner. That's pretty cool. It's been a while since I've read these. I know this here has got some really cool art in it. This is Sean Phillips. Really detailed. But the last one is another EC Comics adaptation from the 50s, and the Black Ferris. This is a really cool story. I only remember part of this, but it's great. It's a classic. You know, kids are at the fair and get into some supernatural hijinks. It's really good. And just I don't know how popular these were then, but you know, I like them. Like I said, this is really cool. I love this panel here. This is a story called The Foghorn, and it's about a lighthouse, and they're setting the foghorn off, you know, and it summons a dinosaur, a sea monster. It's really cool. Love that. It's huge. Knocks the lighthouse over. You know, the foghorn was the same sound that it made, and it thought it was another of its kind, and you know, after, who knows, maybe it was frozen for millions of years or something, and it got free and thought it was a mate, but it was apparently disappointed. It's actually kind of sad. It's a really good story. And they each issue came in their own poly bag, and they all came with cards. They did the Jurassic Park adaptation at the time from the movie. It wasn't too bad. I believe it had some Gil Kane art in it. These were pretty cool. I remember this story pretty well. I always liked this. Besides a dinosaur, what do you want to be when you grow up? And this little boy wants to be a dinosaur. Of course, he wants to be a T-Rex. And, well, he starts to believe it well enough that some funny things start happening, as you can see in this panel here. And you see the shadows. Something scaring the dog, and you know, the father's wondering what it is, and you see the shadow, like something just ran out of his room. There he is in the window again. So, you know, by the end of it, the dad has to try to get his son to want to be something else, because it looks like something was happening there. It's really cool, really good. And yeah, I recommend, if you ever see these at your local comic store, and they're usually find them in their dollar boxes or 50-cent boxes. They're all really good. Got this story here in issue 4. Some great Mike Mignola art. The city. Oops. Almost looks like Hellboy there. But yeah, and then this story here, Usher 2. This guy that you see here, he gets his house and he uses stories from Poe, Edgar Allan Poe, like The Fall of the House of Usher, The Cask of Amontillado, Pit and Pendulum, to get revenge on these people who he thinks have done him wrong. He takes them to this house, and in the house there are like wax displays of each person, and they're being killed in some way from a Poe story. And as you see here, the Pit and the Pendulum is being buried alive, and it ends with him walling the man up, just like in the Cask of Amontillado, just like Montresor. So he even has in quote the line from the story. For the love of God, Montressor. Oh, nope. It's really good. And they all end up getting theirs, and then it ends with the Mask of the Red Death. So, a little mix of some great Poe stories in there to create that. And issue 5, they have this neat Mobius pinup. They even did a one-issue special of the Illustrated Man, and it actually goes through, and there are different stories. What was that from? Stories, you know, from the artwork on his and his tattoos. And he comes across another traveler, and they kind of decide to camp together, and as they're going to sleep, he's telling him about, you know, his tattoos, and he sees, they tell the future. It's really cool. Illustrated Man is a great story. They even did some horror stories. Ray Bradbury's Tales of Terror. This was a special. It's got some great Kelly Jones and Wally Wood art. They put out these trades of the issues as well. And this one here has got some great stories. This story, The Veldt, is about a futuristic family. It's, you know, this is, you know, 50s sci-fi, so looking at it's a house that is fully automated. The family doesn't have to do much. The kids even have a room. It's kind of like a holodeck. It can be lots of places. It can change, things like that, and the kids end up taking control, and there's a big twist at the end, and they kind of get their parents. I like the art in most of these. This is Timothy Truman. This is really good, but for some reason the kids keep going to the African savannah in their little holodeck room, watching, you know, lions kill, and well, there are safeties and protocols and everything, but for some reason, you know, the parents go to look for the children, they don't find them, they see the lions, and the lions come after them. They get out. But by the end of the story, you know, the kids are really spoiled brats, and the parents don't know what to do. Everything is technology and automated. But, well, you see there, it doesn't end well for the parents. And the kids just have no remorse. They just don't care. Then the next story that they have in here, Gotcha, is really funny. It's this couple is, and there are little anecdotes and quotes from Ray Bradbury, little stories, and he explains, you know, where he got the idea for some of his works. This, you know, is based on, you know, an old girlfriend of his, and a game that she wanted him to play, and, you know, basically they go to bed and they kind of turn out the lights, and it's almost like hide and seek, but there's something really strange about this woman, you see. She really, really gets into it, and, you know, the idea is to jump out and scream, "Gotcha!" and scare the other person, and it just scares the life out of this man, and he begins to, you know, wonder if they can stay together. He doesn't seem like the same woman after that. It's really funny, and it's really, really good. This story, Homecoming, here, it's kind of like an Addams Family or Munsters kind of family. They're all monsters, and of course they've got the one boy who is normal, and he feels left out. And this is a really good. This is different than a lot of the other stories. This is, you know, kind of touching and sweet, but it's a really good story. And you know, it's adapted by Steve Leialoha. I really like the art in this. It fits the story really well. I mean, just look at that. Those panels there. It's really dark, but it's got the bright fantasy colors. I know that's kind of a contradiction, but you see what I mean. You know, and the family loves him. I mean, they don't treat him bad. He feels left out, and they kind of help him. It's one cousin or something. She has the ability to float in and out of different people's minds when she's asleep, and she kind of joins with his mind and takes him on a journey so he can feel, you know, a little bit of what she does. You know, you see the page before, he's got an uncle, it's a vampire, and he throws him up in the air and really high and catches him so he can know what it's like to fly and things like that, you know. And the story that will come soft rains is one that will get you. It's another one of those. It's about an automated house in the future, and there are two versions of this. It's another you know, original adaptation from the 50s. I believe it's from EC Comics as well, and this is done by Wally Wood. And a new version. The new version is okay. The art's alright if you like that kind of style. It's different, but the original is so much better. I mean, the first panel, and after that it doesn't get much better. But it's really good, and it's, I don't know, it kind of makes you feel for this house. All the people are gone. The house just keeps running like it always has until it catches on fire and burns down. And the story, the aqueduct, is gruesome. It's about, where is it? The aqueduct is about these two nations that are warring. I don't even see it in here now. Whoop, I passed it over. There it is. It's the very first one. Duh. This one, it's about these two warring nations, and they're fighting over water. And they keep talking about, you know, I hope war in the north. I hope there's war in the north for some reason. And you begin to wonder if it's water they're waiting for. And no, it's blood. It's really gruesome. They also did a hardcover edition of some of those. And I actually have the single issues from these. This is from the Illustrated Man. I just want to take a minute, gonna show those off. Recommend some really good artwork, great stories. If you find those when you're out, you find them cheap, pick them up. Especially single issues, you can usually find those for $1 or less, bagged or not. In the original bags or not, in the cards, they're not worth anything, you know. So thanks for watching, and hopefully maybe got you interested in finding some of these. And thanks again. Until next time, everybody take care.